Everyone loves Thunderbolts, but not Ant-Man and the Wasp. Quantumania. But why? Both are Marvel movies, both have action, both have heroes trying to save the day. In this video, we're breaking down exactly why Thunderbolts worked, and why Quantumania flopped. Let's break it down. Quantumania had endless action scenes, but none of it felt real. Scott and Cassie punch weightless CG creatures in a blurry, artificial void. There's no geography. No tension, just floating nonsense. Now look at Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts might be the most surprising MCU project we've had in years. Not because of who's in it or what it's about, but because it actually works. Jake Schreier, the director, took one look at the Mission Impossible movies and said, yeah, let's do that. And it shows. Right from the very first scene. Yelena on a rooftop. One mission. One impossible jump. No cuts. Just Florence Pugh jumping off the side of a 100-story building. And yeah, it was real. Shot on the actual rooftop, second tallest building in the world. Real stunts don't just look better, they feel better. The rooftop jump is just the beginning. The way the movie is shot is a total 180 degrees from Marvel's usual style. Marvel's had a big problem since Phase 4. Everyone kind of fights the same. Quantumania's final battle looks like it was rendered in 2011. Thunderbolts action looks like it came from the Mission Impossible movies. One used pixels, the other used planning. Sentry's rampage in Thunderbolts is CG heavy, but it works because it's grounded in real choreography and clean camera movement. Meanwhile, Quantumania relied on CGI to do the heavy lifting. Kong should have been terrifying, but his powers were hidden behind a laser show. No sense of impact. No clear physical threat. Thunderbolts knew when to use effects and when to let the actors shine. Quantumania just drowned everything in VFX and hoped we wouldn't notice. Quantumania's biggest problem wasn't just its messy plot or underdeveloped characters, it was how rushed everything felt. The movie was supposed to kick off the next phase of the MCU in a big way, but instead, it felt like Marvel was scrambling behind the scenes. According to some reports, the VFX team was so pressed for time that they ended up reusing background assets from Spy Kids 3D just to meet the deadline. That's how desperate the production got. And once you hear that, it's hard not to notice how cartoonish the Quantum Realm looks, but Thunderbolts finally fixed that. The fight isn't just cool, it proves why this team isn't just a knockoff Avengers. It shows you exactly how each person thinks, fights, and survives, and the choreography? Tight, clean. No extras just standing around waiting to get hit. You feel the weight behind every punch, especially when Walker nearly floors Yelena with one swing. And that one moment where a knife gets thrown, caught, deflected, and almost kills its original owner. It's like an MCU version of a John Wick sequence. Beautiful chaos. Okay, let's talk about Sentry. You can't do Sentry without CGI. The dude flies, moves at super speed, uses telekinesis, and has laser eyes. But even though the effects are heavy, the philosophy stays the same. The Thunderbolts tried to fight him together, and the camera never cuts. 40 seconds, one take. The camera locks on Sentry, and we follow him tossing everyone like rag dolls. The choreography doesn't hide behind edits, it uses them. But look at the budget. Quantumania had over $200 million to play with, more than most movies ever get. And what did we get? A blurry, over-CGI'd mess where entire scenes looked like they were rendered on a PlayStation 2. Meanwhile, Thunderbolts had a smaller budget, around $180 million. But used it so much better. Instead of dumping all the money into visual effects, they focused on real stunts, tight choreography, and practical sets. You can actually feel the impact of every punch, every explosion, every fall. Thunderbolts proves that it's not about how much you spend, it's about how smart you are with the money. Sure, there's CGI, but it's blended with real set pieces, real actors, and practical elements. The lighting matches, the movement flows. It's not perfect, but it works. This is how you use CGI as a tool, not a crutch. Marvel needs to study this and take notes. This is how you make power feel powerful. By the time we hit the final act, the Thunderbolts are stuck in the void, and the movie could have fallen apart here. But once again, it nails the mix. Instead of falling apart like so many big-budget third acts, Thunderbolts actually sticks the landing. But the movie keeps things surprisingly focused. Each character's arc comes full circle. Not through clunky exposition, but through action, visuals, and raw emotion. The void becomes the perfect metaphor for their fractured loyalties. Instead of a mindless CGI slugfest, the final act dares to stay character-driven. And that's what makes it unforgettable. That's why it hits harder than anything in Quantumania. You care more, you believe more, and you're not distracted by a fake floating body. So why did Thunderbolts work? Because it did the opposite of everything that's been dragging the MCU down. No oversaturated CG, no lazy choreography, no action just for the sake of spectacle. Instead, it gave us real stunts, real storytelling, and real characters. The fights have meaning, the visuals have weight, and every shot feels like it was made by someone who cares. It didn't try to be Endgame. It didn't need Iron Man or Doctor Strange. It just needed good filmmaking. And honestly, that's what we've been missing. If you want more breakdowns like this, check out my video on how Marvel faked out fans in their trailers. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell me your favorite fight scene in the comments.